You hear about all sorts of measurements in jewelry. A sapphire is a carat, a necklace is 14 karat gold. Today we're going to break down the history and the meaning behind jewelry math.
You're watching iHeartSTEM. Today we'll tackle one STEM topic I learned from experts. Just 4 key questions with each answer under 1 minute or less.
Since ancient Greek and Roman times, they used something called the double pan scale to measure things that were considered to be valuable, like jewelry and spices. So on one side of the scale, you would put the jewelry, and then they needed something else to put on the other side of the scale. So they looked for something in nature that was very consistent in size. And what they found was something called a carob seed. Now, the scientific name for carob seed is a very complicated word, or I should say words, that you see on your screen. But what they did is they took the scientific name so that all of us could pronounce it, they shortened it, and 1 carob seed came to be known as 1 carat. So if they put a sapphire that was 5 carob seeds on the scale, it now became known as 5 carats. Now they did the same thing for coins. So there was an ancient Roman coin known as the solidus, and that was pure gold. The solidus weighed 24 carob seeds, and that is why pure gold or solid gold is known as 24 carats. So it turns out different carob seeds from different locations are actually different sizes. And even though carob seeds may look to be about the same size, they actually have a lot of variability. So in 1907, they decided to standardize what the carat weight is. And they took the average weight of a carob seed, which is 0.2 grams, and they said that is now the weight of a carat. So 1 carat equals 0.2 grams. Now, most gemstones, you describe them by carats still to this day, but there's a couple exceptions. You'll see some gemstones like amber or opal where they're actually described by their millimeter size. Now, in terms of gold, gold is still described in terms of its relevance to 24 karat gold. So let's say you have an 18 karat gold necklace and you're trying to figure out how much gold is actually in the necklace. You take 18, you divide it by 24, which gives you 75%. So an 18 karat gold necklace is 75% pure gold. What makes it difficult to look at a specific gemstone or look at a ring and say, oh, that's 2 carats or oh, that's 4 carats, is carats are a measurement of weight, not of size. So similarly, while most of us could look at something and say, oh, that looks to be about 6 inches, most of us probably couldn't look at something and say, oh, that looks to be about 6 ounces. The easiest way to think about this is think about cutting some cheese. If someone said to you, hey, can you cut me a 1-inch piece of cheese? You'd be able to do it. If someone said to you, hey, can you cut me 6 ounces of cheese? It's like, I don't know how much or what 6 ounces looks like. Same thing with gemstones. A 1 carat sapphire weighs more, and so it's going to be smaller than a 1 carat diamond. But if you wanted to use some just general estimates, if you're looking at something that looks to be about the size of a mini M&M, it's probably about 2 carats. If you're looking at something that looks to be about the size of a pea, it's probably about 5 carats. This is hands down a question that I got asked a lot when I worked and sold jewelry on TV, because it's so easy to be fooled, and you want to make sure that if you're paying for 18 karat gold, it's actually 18 karat gold. So I came up with a way for you to break down the math to give yourself an estimate of if it's even in the ballpark. So I'm going to look at my paper to make sure I get these numbers correct. So gold is ranged from about $1,800 to $2,500 per ounce, but jewelry is measured in grams, so we need to convert from ounces to grams. 1 ounce equals 28 grams, which means gold has ranged from about $64 to $89 per gram. Now, the average gold chain is about 5 to 6 grams, which, fun fact, is also around the weight of a quarter. So if it's 18 karat gold, that means it should be 75% pure gold. So the retailer or the jeweler would have paid at least $300. So you're probably looking at least $700 for just the chain. I'll be the first to admit that even as an expert who has studied jewelry math is not easy, but it's kind of interesting, right? I'll see you next week. Gold fun fact, it is so malleable and it can become so thin that it can be stretched to 1/10 the diameter of our hair. And if you've ever looked at astronauts' visors, that's often a coating of gold.